Lucknow Pact was an important landmark in India's struggle for freedom, as it brought the extremist and moderate sections of Indian National Congress together under one common interest. In December 1916, the Indian National Congress and the Muslim League held their sessions at Lucknow. A joint scheme of reforms that came to be known as Lucknow Pact was formally adopted by the League and the Congress both. The League agreed to support the demand of self government for India. The Indian National Congress, on its part, agreed that the Muslim members of the legislatures would continue to be elected through separate electorates. Thus, the Lucknow Pact was seen as an important step on the road to Hindu Muslim unity. After the First World War, in order to pacify Indians, the Montagu-Chelmsford reforms were passed in 1919. It is also known as Government of India Act. Some of the important features of this act were: the Central Legislative Council was made bicameral, that is, it would consist of two houses, the Imperial Legislative Assembly and the Council of State. The term of the Assembly was fixed for 3 years and the Council for 5 years. The powers of the houses remained more or less the same. Next feature, the system of diarchy or dual government was introduced in the provinces. The state subjects were divided into two parts, reserved and transferred. Subjects like finance and police, which the British considered more important, were put in the reserved list, and they were under the control of the governor and his council. Subjects like education and public health, which the British considered less important, were put in the transfer list, for which the concerned ministers were responsible. Real power thus remained with the British. The act disappointed the Indians. Protests broke out all over the country. In March 1919, the government passed the Rowlatt Act under the presidentship of Sir Sidney Rowlatt. As per this act, the government could arrest anyone without a warrant and imprison him without a trial. No appeal or petition could be filed against such arrest. This act was called the Black Act. This further aroused public anger and led to mass demonstration. A country-wide protest was organized on 6 April 1919, which was observed as the National Humiliation Day. Gandhiji opposed Rowlatt Act. He gave a call for a mighty hartal on 6 April 1919. He asked people to hold public meetings against the Black Act. The Rowlatt Act also banned Indians from keeping any type of weapon. This angered the Sikhs, who kept a kripan with them as part of their religious beliefs. Gandhiji also made an appeal to observe hartal, and the response to Gandhiji's call was remarkable. Amritsar had observed a hartal on April 6 and complete peace was maintained. But the arrest of two leaders, Dr. Saifuddin Kichlu and Dr. Satyapal, in Amritsar on 10th April led to a mass agitation. On 13th April 1919, on the occasion of Baisakhi fair at Jallianwala Bagh, people organized a peaceful general meeting to protest against the act and the arrest. Suddenly, a British officer, General Dyer, entered the park with his troops and ordered them to open fire on the crowd with their machine guns. This was done without any warning to the people. The Jallianwala Bagh gates were closed, and the people, men, women, and children, could not escape to safety. Within a few minutes, about 1,000 people were killed and many more thousands critically injured. After this, martial law was declared in Punjab. People were tortured and newspapers were banned. Rabindranath Tagore expressed the pain and anger of the country by renouncing his knighthood to the British government. Mahatma Gandhi's faith in the British sense of justice and fair play was completely shaken.